the Smart Woman Podcast, a podcast series brought to you by Gabriela Mueller Coaching International. Your useful dose of coaching advice to help you get what you want more often with less trouble. Gabriela dives into big questions about what matters to women like you in the workplace. It's concrete, focused, and fun. Gabriela's coaching impacts thousands of women worldwide. Welcome to the Smart Woman Podcast. Now your host, Gabriela Mueller.
Hello, amazing smart women out there in the world listening to this podcast. This is for you, the Smart Woman Podcast. And in today's episode, we're going to cover the one thing that can get you that promotion, that progress that you want in your career. Welcome. I'm your coach and host, Gabriela Mueller. You can call me Gabriela. And I mentioned that I will be occasionally calling you chicas, which is the Spanish word for women like you, smart women with good vibe. And I'm also thrilled to see that a lot of you are connecting already with me or following each other in either Twitter or Instagram. My Twitter, Gabriela Mueller. My Instagram is Coach Gabriela Mueller, or my website where you'll find a lot of resources. I also invite you to sign up for my newsletter and blog with much more of this content for you. Now, let me ask you this. How confident are you at work? Or better said, how confident do you look at work? Is confidence something you train and develop, or is it something that it's already in your DNA, or is not? Well, I'm here to tell you that it's a key factor, and I want every single woman out there listening to this to get this valuable piece, confidence. I'm talking about the self-confidence feeling and also those visual elements that tell the world that you are confident and why this impacts your career and your life. Now, I know that everybody can benefit from appearing and looking more confident, though I can tell you that in 15 years of coaching women in the world, this hot topic is something that we all can benefit from, specifically women. It's a key factor to train and polish and always be improving. And I don't mean to say that I have sorted it all out. No, actually, there are still a lot of circumstances or situations where I feel outside my comfort zone or exposed. And I know that if those are key moments, I get a hold of some of these tips and tricks that I want to share with you today to help me raise and boost that level of confidence and that perception of it as well. So I want to share some shocking, astonishing results that Harvard Business Review published last year. The study looked at the factors that influenced promotion decisions. Yes, aspects that managers looked at when they were thinking about who to promote. So here is a shocker thing. This is something astonishing. Do you know what is the number one reason why a manager or a team leader say that women are not being promoted? Well, the survey showed the most common answer is, I thought she lacked confidence for the new role. And here is another worrying piece of this. The same manager said that they found very uncomfortable to give this piece of feedback to that woman. So imagine, talk about a woman, perhaps you, perhaps somebody you know, a woman who's competent. You know your stuff, you are solid, you put the hours, you help others. Though in key moments, meetings, presentations, you simply don't appear to be confident. And that, chicas, affects your outcomes and how you're being perceived. And guess what? On top of that, you're not being told, because I understand this piece of information is either to give it or to receive it is delicate, is difficult to give, and we just don't have the benefit of enough good constructive feedback in our careers. That's already proven. Research also backs it up. And until every organization out there gets comfortable about giving and receiving feedback and talking about these factors openly and in fairness, it's our job to do everything we can to impact our outcomes. So, smart women out there, I want to reveal to you 4 tricks that can make you look more confident in every single meeting. Now, it's going to be simple, and I'm going to ask you not to pick the most challenging or difficult meeting that you have coming up this month or this year. Instead, you want to pick one of those normal, standard status meetings to start trying things out. You see, I coach a lot of women in financial institutions, in pharma, in IT, telecom, government, sport management, and what I see over and over is that when they're not being taken into account for promotions, one of the factors to look at is exactly that perception of confidence. And they see tangible results when they start applying this consistently. So I want you to get also value here. Confidence is that strong belief that you might have on your abilities, skills, values, and also the chances to succeed, to deliver, and to achieve something. I once heard this quote and I loved it. Healthy confidence is like a healthy immune system. It guards you from all the toxic stuff that the world sometimes throws at you, or business in this case. Another important distinction when we talk about confidence is we're not talking about you feeling or acting like real cocky or arrogant at all. We're talking about the healthy level of confidence that is going to get you exactly where you want to get. So before I give you those 4 tips about how to appear more confident in any meeting, let me tell you that people that look confident, they get some real good perks. They advance faster, they report higher financial remuneration, meaning more money, more projects that are challenging or important or interesting come and lay on their desks. They attract better work. And that, I'm assuming also that person also has substance and solid knowledge. That is the know-how part within the executive presence model pie that I presented on the episode 1. And if you didn't listen to it, I recommend go back, listen to it, and I'm assuming that part is covered. So now let me give you these 4 things that I want you to do on your next meeting. Pick 1 or 2 and start playing with them, try them out, observe what happens, and go on. Number 1, never leave a meeting without asking a question or making a relevant remark. Be short, to the point. You may even have something already in mind. Perhaps you don't want to improvise this. If it's a question, make it a powerful question. Use the letter W in English as part of those questioning words. Why, how, when, who. All those are powerful questions because they give you an open question with an open answer. And when it comes to when is a good timing, I always recommend earlier than later. So be part of the first part of the meeting. Of course, you are present throughout the meeting. Though if you are going to speak, I recommend be part of it in the first few minutes or even the first part of the meeting. Now, my second tip for you is put down the pen, chica. And I actually wrote an entire blog around it. Because I actually was one of these women in my first career years. And because I'm so visual, it was important for me to take notes, right? Except that I just didn't look at a competent contributor in a meeting. And I would be taking down the notes. And of course, whenever they needed somebody to take the minutes of the meeting, they would just look at me and I would just assume that would be my role. So women, unless it's your designated role because it's in your job description, taking notes is going to decrease the perception of how confident you look. So what do you want to do instead? Delegate or rotate that role. If this is a meeting, just don't do it over and over all the time. If you still want to have those notes, use technology. Use your smartphones, for example, to tape the meeting, and then most devices have now a speech-to-text feature. And that gives you the transcript of the meeting. Now, if you really want more of that, or if you really feel like the need is there and you want to write down, then write down keywords. not entire paragraphs. So be present. So instead of taking notes, take note. And that, my friends, is a total different game, right? Third, your hands. Chica, your hands. Keep your hands visible. They say a lot, whether you realize it or not. They impact your message. So what you want to do is you want to keep them where others can see them, away from pockets, not under the table or folded arms. It's going to work against you if you, for example, cross both legs and fold arms, and that is going to give a different perception from the one that you really want to give as a confident person. So, palms up. And also it's a sign of transparency, integrity. There is an excellent talk about that, a TED Talk. If anybody is into TED Talks, I'm a big fan. TED.com. And that particular TED Talk is called "The Power is in the Palm of Your Hands." So check it out. It backs this point up as well. And finally, number 4, eye contact. Sure, a lot of people say, just make eye contact. Though I want to land this plane and just give you concrete ideas of what to do and how to do it, because making eye contact is also a sign of your own, not only confidence, on how much people can trust you and rely on you. So making eye contact is key to increase that perception. So here is what you want to do. When you are speaking, look at them in the eye. And of course, make sure you include everybody in the audience, not only your main stakeholder or not only that person who holds the high rank place in the room, which is a mistake I often see. My advice is whenever you are speaking, you are looking at somebody's eyes, not looking at the ceiling, not looking for your words, looking at the floor. If you do, then be silent. And until you make a contact with somebody else, then you would speak. Now, if they are speaking, you also want to look at them without staring at them as if like a mad person. You want to keep a good, healthy level of eye contact. Now, the more you go to the east of the world, Southeast Asia, all this part of the globe, you want to be less intense in this aspect. So we all have to be cross-cultural aware of this, what works, what doesn't work. In other parts of the world, my advice is do keep a healthy, good, direct eye contact with your stakeholders. And they'll see, that woman, that smart woman looks confident. In conclusion, never leave a meeting without saying or asking a meaningful question or adding value. Put down the pen. Do not take notes, take note. Hands, keep them visible. And eye contact, make sure you have a good, healthy, steady, direct eye contact with your stakeholders. Those are some of the first tips and tricks that I want to share with you. Try them on and then observe results. There will be much more coming up in the next episodes of the Smart Woman podcast. Good news is this works even if you do not actually feel confident. Be consistent, try them on, and observe. Because this is what I anticipate will happen. People will see you more confident even if you don't feel like that. And over, they will then interact with you as such. They will look at you and they think, oh, that person looks confident, and this is how they will interact and treat you as well. And now let me warn you, my friends, side effects of this may be success and getting what you want. You're going to be getting less resistance, getting more buy-in from people in your team, in your projects, and even outside your professional life. So be ready to be surprised and keep doing it. And this is what I believe, smart women. Just like a tree, your confidence has roots. The stronger you make those roots, the stronger your confidence will get. Connect with me via Twitter, Gabriela Mueller, Instagram, Coach Gabriela Mueller, or visit my website, www.gabrielamueller.com, and sign up for our newsletter, which has a lot of juicy tips and tricks for you. And now I'm ready to wrap this episode up. Remember, go for your boldest goals. So smart women out there, I wish you a successful day. Until the next time in the Smart Woman Podcast. Hasta la vista.